Hello, everybody. Shaquita Graham here, founder of AtechoWeb.com, here to talk about a very controversial subject, which is the Black church. I'm going to go in depth about this. So let's first go to an article that was done by Urban Intellectuals. And the title of this article is very controversial. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, so Urban Intellectual says, is the Black church the new plantation? All right, and so let me just go into why they say this, just going through one paragraph here. Now in our present society, has the Black church adopted the plantation economic platform, becoming so focused on preaching a message of capitalism and individualized gain for the attainment of economic success and personal prosperity that it has lost sight of its initial calling, serving as the voice for equality and justice and functioning as a service institution for spirituality, emotional support, and social improvements. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about my personal standpoint on this, but I think that it's an interesting question to ponder, especially the part about promoting individualized gain and no longer being a place that supports social improvements. And I'm going to kind of examine why so many people feel this way about the Black church today. And I got some notes together, so I'm going to talk in depth about this. And the first thing is, the way I posed the question was, does the Black church support or oppose white supremacy? And I call it, or I question, is it group economics gone wrong? Because if you really look at the financial potential of the church as a collective or even one mega church, if you have 10,000 church members that pay just $20 per week in donations, that's $200,000 per week. Now, we know that there are some mega churches that have 10,000 members. There's several, actually. Or we know that in a community as a collective, there's, at least 10,000 members in the churches and within the community, even just Black churches. $200,000 a week can be generated. And over a period of 1 year, 52 weeks, that's $10 million. So when we look at the fact that the church can generate $10 million per year as a collective or one megachurch, then we start to, different people who look at our communities start to say, okay, well, if that's the case, there is potential, there is a lot of potential power in the group economics that you find in the megachurch or in the church as a collective. Things that, we need to overcome oppression, like food, technology, politics. I'm going to go in depth about this and why it's so important to think about why the potential group economic power of the church is not being, it doesn't seem to be used in this way. So for instance, food. There is about $57 million. I calculated, just estimated roughly $57 million, almost $58 million leaving our communities weekly for food, just in one community. And let me just show you how that came out. In DeKalb County, Georgia, there's 714 households. According to the census, I think it's 2015, 54% of those households are Black, 385,000 or so Black households. If you spend just $150 a week on groceries, which I spend more than that, we're talking about those 385,000 households spending $150 per week on groceries. That's $57 million per week that is going out of our community because most Black people or the food supply chain does not include Black people for the most part. This money is leaving our community. But if we had money, say $10 million a year or $200,000 a week, we could create something like aquaponics growth centers where we could grow 10 more 10 times more food in the same amount of space. Aquaponics is inexpensive. It doesn't have, let me just go to the slide where it talks about the benefits. So if we have this $10 million a year, we could use urban buildings. We could grow inside. We can grow in small places. So you can generate 10 times more organic produce in the same area, use 70% less energy in the form of labor and other things, 90% less water, no weeding, and the plants grow twice as fast. So when we know we need these kinds of things in our community, and we know that Black people are organizing, they are practicing group economics in the church, a lot of people are saying, is this group economics gone wrong? Technology, that I'm big on technology, and my website is techoweb.com to help with this. So the median salaries for Black households is around $34,000. That's the median salary. The median tech salary, just middle of the road, is $78,000. That right there could be really that fact could be harnessed for the benefit of our community. Because if you take a look at what this actually means. Let me just move this over a little bit. All right, so in the community that I was talking to you about, DeKalb County, the median income for all families was $50,000. The median income for Black families was $34,000. But again, like I said, the median tech salary is $78,000. Okay, so you might say, great, how can you get involved in tech? I'm not a math whiz, a math genius, or anything like that. Well, you don't necessarily need a degree to get involved in it. You can practice self-learning at your own pace. In 6 to 18 months, you can begin a career in technology. I mean, at techoweb.com, I have a series of webcasts called Your Six-Figure Tech Career and Your Billion-Dollar Tech Business. So there's unlimited opportunities in tech. So churches with all of these buildings, or with these organizations, or with these funds, could set up tech centers, research centers, educational centers, and things like that to help the community grow its income to be more effective and powerful. So let's hit up politics. Political power. We all know that one issue that we have a major problem with is we don't have any political power. No politicians are speaking to us. We are just left with these two choices. And on a local level, Black people are not involved in politics the way we would like to see them, because we need to fund our own politicians. So on average, this report says that how people who wanted to campaign to be a member of the House of Representatives raised $1.6 million on average. Some people raised less, some people raised more. Senators on average raised $10 million. Now, do we have to fund an entire campaign? We can fund a large chunk of a campaign so that we can get representatives who will follow through with things that will empower our community. So once again, not only do we have $57 million a week leaving our community because of food, not only do we have very low annual incomes, which can be adjusted or at least helped out with things like people getting involved in technology as a business or as a career, then we also have the church raising a lot more than $10 million a year, because I'm just talking about a subset of 10,000 people giving $20 per week. And we know that there's a lot more people in the church that's giving a lot more money than $20 per week. We know they have the $100 line, the $1,000 line at church. So this is a modest figure of $10 million per year. When we have local campaigns that range from $10,000 to $200,000 to get local politicians in office, to fund members for the House of Representatives, the average is $1.5 million, and Senate, the average was $10 million. So when we see that, we could be spending money or using this organization in the church, using the group economics in the church to fund things like this, like food growth, technology opportunities, political parties or political campaigns, then people ask, what is the church really doing these days? And I say that we can organize amongst ourselves to make it happen, because bottom line, according to the census, and I'm not, one to believe everything that the politics or the statistics say, is there are 40 million Black people in the U.S. So if we had only 10% of those people, 4 million people that wanted to organize to spend $20 a week, $50 a week, $100 a week on organizations that are doing things like this, we could see real change in our communities. And I'm just going to name a few. Of course, my own, the techcoweb.com, helps people get into technology and use technology to drive their business. Married Women's Business, we are talking to women about how to build stronger households for the Black community. But then you have Dr. Boyce Watkins. He has Black crowdfunders. That is the place where you can go and see a lot of Black businesses and fund them. Melanoid Nation, talking about the politics of our time and the media of our times. You have Jason Black, who has an Indiegogo. He's raising money for a film, Gentrified, as well as to create new Black media. So these are things that we need in our community. And I think that a lot of people are disappointed that the church isn't doing more in the way of these things, not to mention media, not to mention education. So, I applaud those churches out there who are doing it. But if any church member or pastor or whatever wonders why Black people are falling away from the church, young people are not interested in the church, maybe it's because we see our communities and we see the church raking in money from our community. And we know that money could be going to housing redevelopment and construction, to creating food centers where we can be our own food supply chain, technology opportunities, and funding political campaigns. So I think it's a good question. Is the church the new plantation? Does the church support or oppose white supremacy? Is the church an example of group economics gone wrong? So thank you all for watching. Shaquita Graham here, founder of techcoweb.com. I hope to see everybody at the Atlanta All Black National Convention coming up in September 15th. Again, thank you for watching.